And it is week number 4 of the college football season. Colorado Buffaloes getting ready to host the Wyoming Cowboys. First time that the Buffs and the Cowboys have played since 2009. Late one on Saturday night will be at Folsom Field, 8:15 to kick off. Our coverage on the Colorado Football Network gets underway at 6. Buffs coming off the loss at Houston last week. Welcome into Buffs Prime Time, brought to us by our good friends at Aflac. Get help with expenses that health insurance doesn't cover. Visit Aflac.com to learn more. We got Michael Pollock coming up. We got mate number 2, and of course we got Coach Prime here today. I like you. See, you still call him mate number 2?
I do. He is incredible, isn't he?
He's been really good.
The kickers really are the leaders
Yeah.
on the team right now.
Right.
All the specialists, they're doing a fantastic job, including the return team. They're doing fantastic as well.
Good stuff. Buffs coming off the loss. You're talking about leadership right there.
Right.
I was thinking about different coaches I've worked with over the years and talking about leadership and ownership of teams. What falls on a player or a roster in terms of leadership, in terms of ownership, and how that kind of sets the tone for everybody?
It's every coach's dream and desire to have multiple leaders on each side of the ball, including special teams. But that's not the way it happens.
Sure.
And you can't force it, you can't forge it, you can't manipulate it by any means. It has to be a true leader. Now, guys can't fake it, because their teammates know.
Exactly right.
And guys don't step out and try to accept the responsibility because they're going to be held accountable. And sometimes they don't want accountability. So now when you're at a deficit, you just got to sit back and try to let it play out and see. The guy may not lead from the front, but he may lead from the back.
Sure.
He does not always have to be in the front, but his practice habits, his preparation, his countenance, where he is in school as well, academically, as well as athletically, it has to be a level of consistency.
Because I think about, even the team you were on, let's say Dallas Cowboys,
Right.
You had yourself and you had Troy.
No,
and
you
Emmett
had
and
during the whole team.
Michael, right? I mean, everyone's set to, and everyone leads differently. They don't, like you said, they don't have to be a
I was never a
rah-rah
vocal guy.
Is that right?
I never
Yeah.
rah-rah gave you the big speeches before the game. I never was that guy. I played.
Yeah.
And, because I was pretty much a hired gun most of the places I was at. So they already had that established. So I went in there and was consistent with my play. And when something needed to be said, then I would say it, because you already had infrastructure of leadership when I came in.
You look at even a team like last year. I was on a show this morning, and I said this to the guys. I said, when you looked at the Buffs in 2023 and 4,
I know where you're going.
number 2 was the leader, right? Nobody questioned that.
Shadow of a doubt.
Travis was a leader because he was a guy that performed game in and game out.
Without a shadow of a doubt. But don't underestimate Jimmy and LaJohntay for what they brought to the table.
Yeah.
Mate
Right.
was also a tremendous leader and a vocal guy who made sure those special teams were suffice. And you had the way Cam and Shiloh led was totally different.
Yeah.
But they were leaders tremendously. And there you have it.
Yeah.
There you have it. You had multiple guys that all were different type of leaders.
I think of Rod Smith, the great Denver Broncos receiver, said to me one time. I asked him about leadership, and he said, yeah, there are guys who are going to be vocal, but shut your mouth and do your job, and people will follow that.
People follow.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything.
Right.
It's like Ben is the leader.
Right.
Ben is a leader. Former walk-on, plays tough. Ben is not going to woo you with speed. He's not going to blow up the clocks with 4.4s. And he's not that. But guess what? He's going to give you everything he has. And guys know him for that in practice as well as in the game. So when he says something, it registers because of the effort that he gives.
So on a roster like you've got right now, can you and a staff create or coax leadership, or does it have to happen organically?
It has to happen. You can't force that, man. It is what it is, and that cripples you a little bit because a lot of guys don't want to step out because they're not sure of their abilities. Because you don't want to be that guy running your mouth and you getting your butt kicked out there on that field. Then you lose all credibility for team and coaches. So you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, that makes you a pariah right off the bat when you're out there shoveling everything and you're not doing your job out there. So you look at last week, and what has kind of been your takeaway from that, and how you've kind of worked that forward?
The word of the week is accountability.
Okay.
Everybody is accountable. Coaches included, myself included. We're all accountable. We're all in this together to come to a consistent level of playing and competing, no matter what the score is. We all are accountable. So now, instead of grading everybody each practice, what we're doing, we're showing the mistakes.
Okay.
And we want you to be accountable. Let me give you an example. A couple receivers yesterday in the prior film made a couple mistakes. Guess what they did before they even, Coach, that's on me.
Right.
In front of the whole that's on me. That won't happen again. I
That's
know what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to take the outside release. That won't happen again.
Yeah.
2 of them did that.
That's good.
And, yeah, but you want to see that from multiple positions. Don't sit back there and play like you got it right when the coach is pointing out this is the play, this is what was supposed to happen, but this is what you chose to do.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Fess it and fix it kind of mindset, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Claim it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't blame it.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Blame it.
Yeah, don't run away from it.
That's right.
It's mine, and take ownership of that and move on.
You're accountable to your teammates, too, because when they get to see it and they see what was supposed to transpire and they say, oh, my God, I ain't know that's what you're doing out there.
Yeah.
Now, you start being held accountable to your teammates. The coaches already hold you accountable. Now you got to hold them accountable as well. Mm-hmm. But you can't do that until you handle your business in your house.
Well, when you envision Colorado's offense in 2025, what is it?
Very physical, running the football, taking what they give us outside. But you got to understand, man, this may sound crazy, but the receiving core is just as good. Let's just take the elephant out of the room. It's 2 elephants. Right. Let's just take Shador and Travis out of the room. Take them out of the room.
Yep.
This is a much better team.
Overall, you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Depth in the roster, overall talent.
Yes. Yeah. But we got to have stability from the quarterback position.
Right.
And we have got to have consistency on the defensive side of the ball, stopping the run first and foremost. But we just got to do the things that we're capable of doing because we have the personnel. But the personnel, they got to ball, man.
Yeah.
They got to ball. They got to stand up.
How do you find you've had some movement, obviously, and we all know in sports the quarterback position is the most important position.
Yeah, most definitely.
How do you find, or how do you get consistency out of that group right now?
It's there. It's there to be had. People they just got to step up and do it and take accountability and do it.
Sometimes it's that simple, isn't it?
Yes.
Make a play.
I'm trying not to say certain things.
No, I understand. Take your time.
Sometimes if you knew what we were dealing with, you'll understand.
I understand.
You probably do.
No, I do.
You probably do. But we're going to get production and consistency out of that position. We will get it.
All right.
We will get it. Sometimes you got to take the long way to get there. Mm-hmm. And you got to lay down a foundation to say this is the way it's going to be or it ain't going to be.
I would have to think, considering what has all transpired in the last week and a half here, right, with all the movement out there, that would, you'd like to think, allow the individuals involved to reevaluate a little bit and say, okay, maybe what Coach was saying and our offensive staff is saying, I need to kind of attend to business here, right? I'm not trying to set you up.
I'm just shaking my head.
You see what we're doing? We're picking our words very carefully.
Very carefully.
Running the football.
Yeah,
okay, let's get back. Let's get back
to
to something else here. Running the football. It's not the sexiest part of the game, right?
Yeah, but it's a part of the game where you control the clock.
You have to.
You're really wearing a team down, and you're keeping your defense off the field.
Yeah.
So those are valuable, very valuable assets throughout a game.
We've got a very good-looking offensive line. They're enormously athletic.
Yeah,
and
but they got to do it.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
but it can't be 4 guys doing this, 1 guy missed a block.
Yeah.
4 guys doing this, 1 guy forgot this. You can't do that. There has to be a level of consistency, then accountability to that.
Right. Do your job once again.
That's it.
It's amazing how frequently it just comes back to doing what you're supposed to do.
Not only that, but the effort, man.
Yeah.
Not only just doing your job, you got to give the effort. See, everybody want to go pro, but they don't want to do the things that it takes to go pro.
Right.
And that consistency thereof. And just being accountable. Like what makes coaches smile is when a guy messes up, that won't happen again.
Yeah.
Instead of my bad, my bad. I don't want to hear my bad. My bad. I let my bad go within the first round. When I first got here, I let my bads go. Okay, I don't want my bads no more. We don't want to do that. We want to do that. I got this. That won't happen again.
We got the Cowboys coming to town from up in Laramie. The Wyoming Cowboys. That's a 8:15 game on Saturday night against 6 o'clock with a pregame. Still to come. We've got Michael Pollock, special teams coach. Mate number 2 is coming, the punter who's been outstanding so far this year. One more segment with Coach Prime after this. This is Colorado Football from Learfield. Colorado football is brought to us by Hilton's on Canyon. Game day in Boulder starts right here. Embassy Suites and Hilton Garden Inn Boulder, official partners of Colorado Athletics. Back on Bus Prime Time with Coach Prime. We've got Michael Pollock, special teams coach, and Damon Greaves, our punter, coming up here in a little while. Buff's getting ready for Wyoming coming to town on the Saturday, 8:15. You and I were just talking off here about returns. Quentin Gibson, we got a look at him last week. Okay, now I got to ask you, was that specific that he wanted him to bring it out and give him a chance to return?
No, I told him to bring it out.
Oh, did you?
5 yards deep, he can bring it out.
Okay.
That's the cutoff. It's got to be 5.
He's got a little wiggle to him now.
The kid had 2,000 yards receiving in high school.
Wow.
The kid broke records in Texas. The kid was the player of the year in Texas football.
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
At the highest level of competition, and they won the state. So 2,000 yards receiving, he knows what to do with the ball. So we just got to figure out how to get the ball in his hands more frequently. 20, got to get the ball in his hands more frequently.
Kayla Taylor.
Well,
your core wide receivers,
Sincere,
if we were just talking.
we got to get the ball vertical shots. He has to get 2 to 3 vertical shots a game because he's going to cash at least 2 of them in.
Right.
If we get it out there to him.
All right. Because we were just talking, you got a group of talented guys.
Really talented.
Got to make sure the ball gets in their hands.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not that simple. But yeah.
Because guess what? You weren't scoring touchdowns back in the day if the ball wasn't in your hands, right?
You had to. I had to touch it. You got to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers some type of way.
I was on Tuesday. I come out to practice, and I'm standing out there looking around. I'm looking, there's Randy Moss over there, and there was a couple other guys.
Yeah.
And then I looked over, and there was a guy way across the way, and I couldn't see who it was. And I thought, well, that can't be a former player over there. It was Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. We go way back since 88, 89.
Yeah.
And he's been a friend consistently throughout. But I've seen the transformation. I know the rapper,
right?
You know, the actor as well as the CEO of the Big Three. I know all those guys. These kids now, they just know the star, the movie star. They don't know the other Ice Cubes. They don't know all the different facets of his life and how those things has materialized. But I like to place different people that are successful in front of them so they can understand there are different paths to take. It's not just because you play football, that don't mean you are a football player. You know, you this is what you did. That's not who you are.
It's just a vehicle.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
And there's so many people like the kid that you probably would know. I show speed. He's supposed to come today. You know, he wants to come to practice today and see the kids and all of that. But that's that generation. They know exactly. Everybody on this campus know who that guy is. But you got to blend that kind of stuff so these young men can see different opportunities for success.
And the idea, my understanding is, you want them to expand their expectations or their thoughts.
Process. Yes. You can't just. You got to understand, man. The wealthiest people that resides in this country are not necessarily athletes, man. You just check Forbes.
Right.
The athletes don't show up to way down somewhere. Like somebody on this campus right now, a couple of them probably gonna be billionaires.
Right.
Yeah, that's just, and I want our kids, young men, to think like that and don't think you just must be driven by a ball or bat or a glove or whatever, a racket or whatever.
Is that the? Sometimes we don't. The idea of not dreaming big enough.
Right.
Is that what you're getting at?
That's exposure, too.
Yeah.
That's why we try to expose them to. Like, when you come here and you see The Rock, when you see this guy, that guy, this guy, that guy, it's unbelievable. Now they're saying, you know what, I can do that.
Yeah.
Because they've got a chance to articulate with them and to converse with them and just to see how positive and how they just took advantage of an opportunity.
So it's not about them meeting famous people. That's beside the point. It's about excellence and pursuing excellence.
Yes, but also having a navigational system that can direct you there. Yeah. Sometimes if you don't see it, you can't believe it. You got to see it.
Sure.
Like, that's the way my mind worked. I had to see it. I had to see, like, what I wanted. So I watched a tremendous amount of television when I was a kid. So I shaped my life around television stars that I saw. Oh, I like that from him. I like that from him. I like that from him. I like that. I could do that. Yeah. So that's how, because we couldn't afford to go to an NFL game.
Right.
Or, I did hustle balls at the spring training Major League Baseball games in Fort Myers. We had the Kansas City Royals there, so I was out running everybody to the home run balls and the foul balls, and that was my hustle. I would sell them, Yeah, I would sell them, and that's how I made a little money.
I thought it was interesting. I saw the video when Ice Cube talked to the players. Mm-hmm. He said something along the lines of, don't be worried about what you don't have.
Right.
Explain.
Right. I can't recall everything he said. He said be worried about the opportunity that you may have not taken advantage of to cause you to have certain those things. Don't worry about what you don't have. Think about the opportunities and take advantage of those things now. Right. And he had a concert that night, and he's tremendous. Dub C was with him as well. One of the person was in the West Side Connection, the rap group. I know you've played him all the time.
Yeah, without question, I look like
yeah,
that. I understand. Yeah. Have you ever done any acting?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I played little roles. Once upon a time, I was going to surrender one of the sports. I'm not going to say which one, but to go into acting.
Serious.
And it's almost like God pulled a carpet out of it because the movie was going to be shot in New Orleans. I was going to be like this undercover cop infiltrating this corrupt police.
So you could have been like a Wesley Snipes kind of guy.
Yeah. I'd rather Denzel. I would rather go Denzel. Okay. But I love Wesley Snipes. I'd rather go Denzel. But, yeah, I was going to go down that avenue once upon a time.
Right.
I think that's the avenue that or streaming, like Actual Speed, that Shiloh's going to go down.
You think so?
Because he has that gift, man.
Yeah.
He has
got a personality.
Oh, my God. And it's like,
right.
It's a very attractive personality because he's just fun. He's just a fun kid, man. And I'm proud of him right now.
Oh,
he's had a couple interviews, a couple opportunities.
All right. Look forward to it. Yeah. Next action figure.
Yeah.
Shiloh Sanders.
No, I don't know about no action figure.
All right. Wyoming Cowboys. Give us a few thoughts
team.
of Wyoming. Yeah.
Very physical up front on both sides of the ball. Offensive line, defensive line, these guys could get it done. Do not underestimate these guys. Yeah. One thing that we got to do, though, is we got to start fast. Night game, we got to start fast. Yeah. That's why we're changing the practices. Last night, tonight, we're practicing to make sure our bodies get turned around so we're able to – we're not going to sleep. In the first quarter, we're up and we're ready to go. But these guys get after it, and we got to match the intensity coming out early. And first downs are vital. I put a statistics up there where we are first downs and offensively as well as what we're surrendering on first downs on defense, and we got to improve on first downs.
When you guys sit down and look at what's been going on the defensive side of the ball, I mean, there's talent on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
Is it just simply execution?
Execution and consistency.
Yeah.
It'd be one guy. It'd be the perfect call, then one person out of his gap. Right. And boom, here you go.
Misses his
fit.
And,
First play of the game.
Right.
Perfect call. First play of the game last week. Perfect call. We're at our gaps. And get like now it's instead of and they're on the 3-yard line. So instead of it's during 2nd and 9, it's 2nd and 1 or 2nd and 2 because I think they got 8 on the carry.
Yeah.
And they shouldn't have.
Right.
Because it was the perfect call.
Last year this was a team that forced a lot of turnovers.
Right.
This year
it's coming, but you got to understand now it didn't happen.
Right.
It didn't happen, and we didn't get sacks. I don't think to the 3rd or 4th game we didn't start running off the sack total.
You what last year? Yeah,
yes.
And then led the Big 12 in sacks.
That's
also.
right, but it didn't happen early on.
You were a turnover guy. You forced a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Is it preparation? Is it athleticism?
It's
is it
preparation?
Playmaking?
It's film study, and it's seizing the moment. Like we have those moments. We have those 3rd and 12 moments, though, and we throw them to the guy that we want them to throw them to. Those guys got to make plays.
So the idea is through the preparation. For example, in 3rd and long, when you were playing, you knew, okay, this is my opportunity.
This formation.
Yes.
This is what we're doing. 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 to 12. Okay, there's got to be a 15-yard route. Why would you run something 10-yard route? It's got to be more depth than that. So you're already thinking and you're doing a process of elimination based on down and distance, based on formation. You kind of know, got a hunch of what's coming. And then you could be really aggressive to the fact that, all right, if that ball's a little bit late, there's going to be a house call. So it has a lot of preparation, a lot of thought process, a lot of work. But I worked, man, and I hate that. What I try to do is never compare myself to my team.
Yeah.
But you got to work, and you got to prepare yourself for that moment.
Sure.
If you don't, that moment is going to pass you by.
So you know the circumstance within the game. Okay, it's 3rd and long. They got to be passing. Going to be a 15-yard route because it's 3rd and 12. But also knowing the guy you're going against.
Knowing the guy you're going against.
What does he do?
Like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
Like the back of your hand. What is he doing? Okay, I've been playing against him for 2 quarters now, a quarter now. Okay, when I get to the bench after the first series, I'm telling the other corner, this is what I'm getting from this guy. This is what I'm getting from that guy. This is what – because believe it or not, during that, every play that they run they're calling it out upstairs, saying what they're going to do.
Okay.
So it's it's like we know, and we want them to know. That's why we have mandatory film study of at least 3 hours.
Sure.
And the kids chose that. We didn't force that on them. They chose that. They wanted that mandatory film
So
study.
when you were coming off the field, you were coming back immediately, saying to the other corner,
Yeah, this is what I'm getting.
Right.
But it was hard because I took the main guy.
Yeah.
So it wasn't no use, no conversation. But you got to talk amongst each other, and that's why we put phones down. That's why I don't like headphones coming in meetings on even the dining hall before the games in the hotels, because I want kids to communicate. Kids don't talk anymore.
No, that's right.
Then when you expect them to get on the field, you want them to communicate when there's emotion. Now we're blowing coverages. Why? Because of the communication.
Not talking.
Yeah, but if we have a relationship and we're down for each other, we want each other to shine, we're going to have that type of communication, and that's valuable and viable.
That's also the idea of I've got your back, you got mine. I'm sharing with you because I want to make sure you know what's happening when
there you go, and we all should know. I mean, all you have to do is watch Ben.
Right.
When somebody goes in motion, just watch his hand movements, and he's out there yelling his butt off, trying to make sure everybody knows what he knows. But if you're going to be wrong, at least be wrong together.
right.
Don't be wrong. You're the only one wrong. Let everybody be wrong together, then we're right.
There's wisdom in that right there. If you're going to be wrong together.
Be wrong together.
All right.
Then we're right.
All right. Hey, Wyoming coming to town on Saturday. Coach, good luck.
Thank you.
All right.
God bless.
There he is. Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, Buffaloes and Cowboys, 8:15 on Saturday night. Coming up next, we're talking special teams with Michael Pollock after break. This is Colorado football from Learfield. Hey, Buffs fans, get game day ready with the Taco Bell Buffs Box for just $7. You'll score 4 Taco Bell Classics and a large fountain drink with collectible cup featuring Julian Lewis, Traylon Miller, Jordan Seaton, Quentin Gibson, big flavor, big value, built for bus fans. Only at participating Taco Bell locations. Liv Moss back in Bus Prime Time. Michael Pollock, special teams coach for the Buffaloes, joining us. You know, the way special teams are going, we got to get one of those special teams guys in one of those cups, right?
Hey, I agree. I think so. I think we got a couple of candidates for sure.
You're just walking on a cloud right now. You guys are really performing well in that aspect of football.
Well, I tell you what, they really work hard, and they've got a lot of talent. And, you know, when you've got talented kids that have a great work ethic, you know, they're older guys too, so they're more mature. Yeah. And they just take care of their business. Yeah. And, you know, we were so grateful for the off season and being able to get a couple of them to commit to come in here. That really improved our room and filled the voids that we had. And, you know, right now, you know, they're doing the job.
You know, one guy that is totally altered, even what we do in the broadcast, for goodness sakes, is Buck Buchanan, your kickoff guy.
Hey, listen.
I mean, it's in the end zone,
yes.
You know, every time.
Yes.
I don't. Yeah, he hasn't missed, I don't think, yet this season, has he?
I think he kicked one. Missed one.
That's right.
He got one that was a little short.
Yeah, yeah.
He just wanted to make sure the other 10 were awake. He wanted to make sure they were still working.
But that's awful. Like, you know, the last couple of years, Coach Prime has talked about that. We got to get a guy to kick into the end zone. Right. So you bring him in. And, you know, just kind of talk about what he's done. He's got a strong leg, and he's striking the ball very well right now.
Well, I tell you what, Buck's got an incredible leg. I mean, when it comes off his foot, it just looks different. It sounds different, and it is different. Yeah. And you know, I joke with him all the time how, you know, he has made me sleep a little better at night because I don't have to worry as much about kickoff as we've had to worry about the last couple of years. Exactly. You know, I know last year we were really having to scheme it up and really focus a lot on it. And not that we don't now, but, I mean, he just makes life a lot easier.
So what is that? You just kind of joked to making sure the other 10 guys were awake.
Right. You
got to make sure they're not taking a play off here, right?
There you go. That's right. And you know, we do a good job in the huddle as a unit. We've got some guys in there, you know, Ben Finneses and some of the other guys that really focus on reminding the other guys, hey, let's don't assume he's going to kick it in the end zone. Let's make sure that we're covering like we're supposed to be, staying in our lanes, you know, still doing those little things. And it's good to have those guys in there that helps me motivate them and go. But like I say, man, it's just so nice when I see that ball come off his foot and it just explodes.
Out of the back of the end zone, the return guy is giving the signal, right? I'm not returning this. And don't you think he's got one of the great names I've ever heard? He sounds like he should be playing for you know, Harvard in 1924. Buck Buchanan.
Doubt.
What a great name.
Great kicker's name. Yeah. It's a great kick. You know, I told him, I said, you know, you're gonna make us start calling them touch bucks instead of touchbacks.
I may steal that when we use that in the broadcast this weekend. And we got Damon Greaves coming up as well. Your punter. Right. You bring him in. And again, I frequently joke when we'll say on the air, I'll say, well, you know, it's a punter from Australia. But then again, that's being redundant right now, right? Because there's such a great line of guys coming in. But he has been awful solid. Tell me about him.
Oh, just a great kid. Great, you know, just addition to our room from a leadership standpoint. You know, he is such a breath of fresh air to be around every day. Mm-hmm. He's not just a great player, he's a great person. And, you know, he's actually taught me about Australian rules football, you know, and the difference between that and rugby. And, you know, here I am, an American.
Now, most people don't know there is a difference.
Well, there is.
But you want to get, and he's sitting right over here, you want to get their ire up. Just mention, say, well, it's just like rugby. That gets those guys going nuts.
Yeah, that'll get them fired up.
I don't like that at all.
Well, the reason that they're such good kickers is they, you know, in rugby, they have to kind of spin the ball with their hands, which we're in Australian rules football, they pass it with their feet. Right. So it's a different game, and you know, it's been interesting. Matter of fact, we had a Australian rules football out there yesterday at practice, just kind of messing around before practice with it and everything. And like I say, he brightens my day every day I see him.
That's
and,
good
you know,
stuff.
just being around him, great guy. We're so fortunate to have him, and he has been unbelievable this year in his performance, and not just as a, you know, what he brings to the table with leadership and punting, but he's our holder. Yeah. And Amada's got a tremendous amount of confidence in him, and you know that's a huge thing to do with our field goal operation, is having a guy that your kicker just totally believes in and has faith in. And he just does a great job for us.
You know, and Alejandro Amada is I joked, I think, at the kickoff lunch, and I said, during my 22 years here now, there's only been 2 guys that have been kickers that nobody even knew their name, right? That was Mason Crosby,
Right.
one of the greats of all time, and Alejandro Mata, Matematic out there. And so he's a nice
Right.
stabilizing force in there.
No doubt. And he's been with us 4 years now, and he's a great leader in the room, a great leader for our team. And he's worked tremendously hard this offseason to improve his leg strength.
Okay.
I mean, he was out there yesterday hitting from 55,
Wow.
field goals,
Wow.
And I think, when he first got here, probably about 45 was about
Sure.
his limit. And I think bringing Buck in motivated him. He saw the work he needed to put in for the
Right.
off season to get stronger. And, he's just a tremendous part of our program. And I've got complete faith in him.
We frequently will talk about all these kickers for obvious reasons. We don't ever mention your long snapper, who's been
Right.
very, very good.
Very solid. Cameron Hawkins.
Cameron Hawkins. The only time you mention that guy is when he screws up.
No doubt.
Right?
No doubt.
And so I don't want to go through this without mentioning him and let you
Right.
praise him a little
Well,
bit.
he does a great job, and he's another leader on our team. Like I say, all of our guys are leaders on our team. And that's important. Our other players on the position players have a tremendous amount of respect for our specialists.
Mm-hmm.
They know what kind of work they put in. They know that they do the job, which our guys work out with them in the weight room. They do all the running the other guys do. Their practice looks a little different from everybody else's practice, but they respect the hard work those guys put in and have done to help make them successful. And so I think that's a big deal for us.
I want you to talk a little bit about your return guys. Prime and I were just talking about, Quentin Gibson.
Right.
He's got a chance now.
He does.
He's got a little giddy up
Right.
to him, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Well, he had a chance. If we block one guy on
Yeah.
I think the second return we had, he's out the gate on,
Yeah.
on the one kickoff return. So we've worked really hard this week on improving that and making sure we get on our guys, because we do have him, and then DT's another one that's explosive back there, that we feel like we got guys that have potential to change the game.
What do you look for in a return guy? The easy thing is, well, he's fast. It's a fast guy, right? There's so much more to it there. What are you
No
looking
doubt.
for in a return guy?
Well, I tell you what, you're looking for a guy that's a little fearless. He's got to be fearless, because he's running full speed as 11 guys are running full speed at him.
It's called a head-on collision.
Exactly, and he's got to be able to make split-second decisions, and just be able to hit it. And then of course like punt return is a little bit different thing.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to be fearless, because you got to catch the punt with guys coming at you, but you got to just the ability to get vertical as fast as possible and find that make that first guy miss is key with punt return.
They have to. I would think they have to have great vision.
Absolutely.
You see guys. This is about Wayne Gretzky, right? He saw creases before they actually happen.
Right.
You got to have a guy with vision, right?
Exactly, and he's got to and it's more than just catching the ball and returning with vision. You got to study the return. You got to understand how we're trying to set you up, where the blocks are coming from, where the hole's gonna hit. There's a lot more goes into it than people think, and I think we've got two special ones back there that can really make a difference for us.
I think you got to be careful how you answer this, because it would be. I'm asking a question about a special teams guy, but I think Quentin got tackled by the kicker. You don't want him to get tackled by the kicker, right?
No, I've given him a hard time about that.
And it was the kicker that made the tackle.
Yes, it was the kicker.
Yeah. So.
Yes. And we actually had somebody that should have blocked him for him, but Quentin was like, "Coach, I shouldn't need someone to block the kicker for me."
That's funny stuff right there. From a coverage standpoint, kind of help us understand with some teams will use starters on coverage teams, some teams don't. How do the Buffs handle this?
Well, we try to use the best players we've got.
Okay.
Within reason. We do have a couple positions that we're a little thin with the depth, so we try to protect those guys. But even there, in a crucial situation, they know we're going to call on them.
Yeah.
Coach Prime, he doesn't want to play a lot of backups and guys like that can't play on Saturday.
Right.
For special teams. He's made a big emphasis on, if a guy can't play his offensive or defensive position or be a contributing factor, then why would we play him on special teams? And unless it's just a special kid, and maybe he's at a position where we do have a lot of depth and he's really given us a lot of effort and he's got the ability to do it, then we try to give guys like that a chance.
Okay.
And we do have 2 or 3 guys like that on our roster that that are falling in that category.
Okay.
You know.
Buffalo's getting ready for the Wyoming Cowboys. One thing that we know, the special teams coach is getting a little extra sleep because some of the guys that he's got going on.
Absolutely.
Keep up the good work.
Appreciate you.
All right. Michael Pollock, special teams coach for the Buffaloes. One of his guys, Damon Greaves, the punter, is going to join us next. Our program is brought to us by Aflac. Get help with expenses health insurance doesn't cover. Visit aflac.com to learn more. Back in a moment. This is Colorado football from Learfield. Hey, every stadium generates some food waste on game days, but thanks in part to certified compostable packaging from Boulder-based Eco Products, a dedicated team at Folsom Field is able to turn a lot of that food and the packaging it comes in into compost instead. Eco Products, proud once again to be the official zero-waste partner of the Colorado Buffaloes. Back on Buffs Primetime, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, and the punter for the Buffaloes. First year, Damon Greaves, Australian, came here from the University of Kansas, had that brief stop in Lawrence, and decided, I want to keep going west to the beautiful Boulder area. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You've been kicking well. How do you feel about your experience so far here in Boulder?
Yeah, it's been great. Personally, I feel like I'm in a good spot.
Yeah.
But me being the person I am, I'm a winner. So hopefully we can get a few more wins, ahead over the next few weeks and really start to show us what we're made of.
Okay, explain what's going on in Australia. What is with this influx, this enormous influx of Australian kickers we've got coming this day?
Yeah, it's big now. There's a lot of Aussies out here, but what it is, we grew up playing Aussie rules footy.
Yeah.
So for us, we grew up punting the ball. You guys grew up throwing it. So it's a natural thing to us. And, Americans and colleges are starting to, realize that and see that a lot of Aussies these days are, making impact at college and NFL level. And essentially what you do is you join an organisation called Pro Kick Australia over in Australia. And you're trained up, and you're sent from there to the colleges.
All right, like I said earlier with Michael sitting here, if you want to start a fight, walk up to an Australian and go, rugby and Australian rules football, same game, right? Explain the difference to us. What's different about those two sports?
Yeah, there's a lot. Like I said, the punting aspect of the game is huge. That's how you move the ball around. It's an oval-shaped field. It's a 360 game, so you can kick it left, right, forward, backwards.
Right.
Full tackling as well, like rugby. So that's probably the one similarity to rugby. But essentially you're just moving the ball around as you're punting it, and you need to get it through the goals, and getting it through the goals gets you 6 points.
Okay.
And then there's some goals on the outside, which is worth 1 point. So
Okay. All right.
yeah, it's a complicated game, but it's an exciting game.
All right. Well, we're seeing the scoring's a little bit similar to American football.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, when did you decide you wanted to come to the States here and give it a try?
I was fortunate enough. I was drafted out of high school, so I played Aussie rules at the highest level there in Australia, and spent 3 years doing that. And the nature of the business at the highest level, you get cut and contract extensions. But for me, I was cut, and I just saw this as an opportunity to do something different, see something different, and right now I'm in a great place as well. If I want to reach the highest level again, it was another opportunity for me to do that. So. That was a big part of the reason.
Did you know Mark Bassett prior to coming here or not?
No, I didn't.
You did not.
Knew of him. Like you said, a lot of Aussies around, so you sort of know of each other, especially in the Big 12 as well. You know of each other. But the first time I met Mark was when we played when Colorado played in Kansas last year.
All right. First time. All right.
Yeah.
So what made you decide you want to become a Buff? You're at Kansas.
Correct.
Why come here?
Oh, like I said, the opportunity to get the next level here with the coaching staff around me is hard to pass up. Great program as well. Like I said, the coaches are just awesome. So I feel like it was just the right place for me. The punch scheme as well sort of suits my strengths, I'd say, as well.
Yeah.
And like where else would you want to be rather than Boulder? It's
a
pretty nice place to be. So
how much does the elevation? Did you notice elevation change in terms of what the ball did when you got here?
A little bit, yeah.
Little bit? Yeah.
It's still you still need to hit a nice ball. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Technique and hitting the ball well is.
It's not going to cover up a bad punt.
No, it would be amazing if it did,
It
but
would be nice.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. But that was the elevation does help and assist in some regard, but. Like I said, still got to have a good technique and hit the ball well.
If I was to say, hey, Damon, talk people into going to visit Australia, what would you tell them?
Well, if you love the beaches, warm weather, sunny blue skies all day, every day. If you're a surfer, if you're a camper, it's sort of the area I was from and what I grew up doing as well. So if you love all of that, why not visit Australia? Don't worry about the snakes and spiders. They're not as bad as they're told to be.
Yeah. So it's not true. Somebody once told me in Australia there's a lot of things that want to kill you there. That's not true.
No, it's not true. It's a pretty safe place. You might see a couple of spiders and snakes, but just walk away from them and you'll be all right.
Awesome. Hey, it's great having you. Keep up the good work, man. You've been outstanding.
Thank you very much.
All right, Damon Greaves, punter for your Colorado Buffaloes, as they get ready to take on the Wyoming Cowboys once again on Saturday night. 8:15 to kick off. Late one this week. Going to be a great crowd, great night for college football. We'll get things underway at 6 o'clock with the Buffalo Stampede pregame show. For Coach Prime, for Coach Pollock, and for Damon Greaves, voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson. Thanks for joining us on some Buffs Primetime. This is Colorado football from their field.